This is Chris Kelly with your Peak Fitness wall plank. All right, the question that I get asked a lot is for somebody that is a true beginner. Okay, so say we're dealing with a geriatric client that is older or an individual that just has no conception of what, say, neutral spine is. We want to start in the most basic position possible. Okay, and I think with the plank, we think about starting on the floor, even a chair. Those things are weight-bearing positions, all right? And in many cases, they become too difficult because we're thinking about too many moving parts. You know, the shoulders, keeping the back flat, all of these things. So we want to eliminate as much complexity as possible. So our first kind of starting place for many of our true beginner clients is a wall. Okay, and the wall plank is a great exercise simply because it mimics all of the demands of a traditional plank, but we're much more non-weight bearing. Okay, so in this position, client can find neutral spine. We can coach really whatever we need to. We can touch them, and they're not going to be fighting as nearly as much gravity as they would on the floor. All right, so the setup for the wall plank looks something like this. I'm going to come on my elbows. Okay, and I want, first and foremost, I want to cue the client to find neutral spine. So have them arch their back as much as they can, round, arch, round, and then find a spot in the middle. And as the coach, what you could do is put your hands here to kind of guide them into the right place so they understand that. From here, what we're going to do is come up onto the toes and just keep the back flat like the table. All right? As I'm doing this, I'm thinking about taking deep breaths in through my nose, filling my belly with air, and blowing out like I'm blowing out a balloon. You know, I cue the client to shrink wrap their abs to their spine, and they should feel kind of their shirt flatten out. Now from here, what we can do is kind of an intermediate progression. We can step a little bit farther away from the wall to make it harder. We can also incorporate extremity movement, all right? So take a deep breath in, reach with your hand, come back, take a deep breath in, reach with your hand, come back, take a deep breath in, tuck one knee to your chest, okay, the deep breath in, tuck one knee to your chest. The beauty of this exercise is that all the cues on the floor, okay, arms, legs, dynamic movement, everything, the same progression can be gone through on the wall before we lower to give a client kind of like a launching pad for success. All right, so the key is make sure proper form, make sure the back is flat like a table, make sure the shoulders are not shrugged. Again, cue the breathing. That's one of the most important things. Once the client is able to do this with proper form for 10 breaths or 30 seconds, move them to a lower surface, and that's our wall plank.